Hello, it's Amanda with Music Game Club, and I am going to walk you through how to play 4-4 Foxes. So first, let's see what you get in the game download. Here you have the game board. It's like a Candyland game board. You start right here, and if you land right here, there's the paw prints that go right here, land right here, paw prints go right here, and there's some specialty spaces. I'll get to those in a moment. You will have the game instructions that you can download. It'll tell you how to play, or you could just watch this video. There is the note value guide. So if you or your students need a little review on how many each of the notes get, you have this. Of course, there is our very colorful success poster that says, I raced through the rhythms and won. We have 8 boxes that the students can choose from. And there are 59 game cards. And these include your 8th note that are up stem and down stem. Now, I will note on the board, they're only up stem. So this is a really good way to teach your students that even if it looks a little different, it is still the same note. So you have 8th notes, 8th rest, quarter note, both up and down stem, quarter rest, dotted quarter note, up and down stem, half note, up and down stem, dotted half note, up and down stem, whole note. And then these are considered specialty cards because there are only one half rest and one whole rest on the board. Be sure your students pay careful attention to see which one's which. And then the other specialty cards are these colorful acorn, mushrooms, and holly berries. So to start off with, I will show you how to play for beginning students. Even if your students have never learned their notes before, you can still use this game to teach them their notes, what they're called, how many counts they get. So first you're going to shuffle the cards. Each student will pick their Fox game piece. You can play this from 1 to 8 students if you'd like. So I will choose the Darwin's Fox for player 1 and the Red Fox for player 2. Very easy. You pick a card and then you move forward to the next space that you see. And there is a really handy line so that way you will not get mixed up what is next. Player 1 starts with a dotted half note. So here's how I would start it with students who've never learned their notes before. First, you can just start telling them what the name of the note is. This is a dotted half note. And they will move to the next dotted half note. This one is a half note. This player will move to the half note. Player 1 gets a half note. And we have to move there. Player 2 gets an 8th note. Move there, and so on and so forth. Once your students are confident in what all the note values are called, then you can add to it and say, this is a dotted half note, it gets 3 beats, or 3 counts, depending on how you want to play. This is an 8th note, it gets a half beat. And you can teach them their note values that way. When your students pick a specialty card, they will go to that spot no matter where on the board they are. So here's the mushrooms, and if your student is up here and almost to the finish and they draw a mushroom, they have to go all the way back to the mushroom. If they draw the acorn, then they have to go all the way back to the acorn. And remember, like I said, the whole rest and half rest are also specialty. So the whole rest would be there, half rest would be there. And then if the player lands on this quarter rest, they have to go backward to here. And if they land on this dotted quarter note, they get to go forward here. So that applies for all the gameplays. So that's how I would use it for very beginning students. Now I will walk you through how I would play it with more upper level students. If your students already know what all of the note values are and how much they're counted, then this game gets a little old for them. So the way I would do it with more upper level students, kind of late beginner and intermediate, is each player, they pick one card at a time, and they have to build an entire 4-4 measure before they move. Okay, so this player has 1 beat, 1.5 beats, 2 beats, 1 beat. They cannot use this card right now, so they will use these cards, and it's a complete 4-4 measure. If you would like to, you could do different meters, but since this is 4-4 foxes, of course, I'm going to demonstrate with 4-4. So they can do it. If you get a really savvy student, they might would look and see what is going to take them the furthest. So if they go half note, then quarter note, it will take them further than if they do quarter note, half note, or quarter note, half note, quarter note. So if you get a really smart student, they might be pretty meticulous that way. So there is a full 4-4 measure. So they move to the half note, then to the quarter note, then to the quarter note. So more of the gameplay is spent in drawing cards. And then, of course, they would discard all their cards. And then the play continues. This student has a 4-4 measure. Again, they can choose if they want the quarter note or the quarter rest, whatever they think will get them further. And actually, the answer would be quarter rest. That's what I would do. And I would do it this way. So then they go to your dotted half note and then to your quarter rest. And then from there, whoever gets to the end first wins. If a student draws a specialty card, they have to go there immediately. So if they pick a card and it's a specialty card, it doesn't matter where on the board they are. Let's say it's this one. They would have to go back there. And same if they would go, boost up to the end right here. So the very end, if you're right here, you still have to build a 4-4 measure, but it doesn't really matter what the notes are. Any 4-4 measure will take you to the end. So that is how I would play it with more upper level students. Keep your eye out because in the weeks following, I will have even more fun videos to use these cards in this game for even more rhythm exercises. We hope you've enjoyed this version of 4-4 Foxes. Remember to celebrate with the success poster. This gives you a wonderful opportunity to take pictures and share it on social media. If you do, please tag us at Music Game Club on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Also, be sure to check out our playlist with all of the other 4-4 Foxes game variations. And finally, we have boom cards that we have with 4-4 Foxes that will help your students be able to review rhythms, self-checking at home. So check out our boom learning. Link is in the description below. Y'all have fun.